evening to everybody on the call. Guys, feel free to just go and reach out to any team members that you have that are not on here yet, because tonight is going to be all about you developing you and doing what you need to do on a daily basis to get the growth that you truly desire. Hello, Yasid, Karina, Efrosyni's here, Catherine, Diana, Irene, Karine, Mary, Pia, Rochelle, Roland, Yasid. Small amount on here right now, guys. Let's get some more team members on, because tonight is all about us getting on the same page. Awesome. Hello, Torkel. Yasid, guys, don't get distracted by my cat, okay? We want to be focused. We don't want to see the beautiful cat right now. We want to be thinking about our business. Cool. All right, so let me see these beautiful videos that are on right now. Let me see some people. Let me know where you're logging in from on the chat. I'm going to give it another couple of minutes, and then we are kicking right into it. So I've done a couple of presentations today, by the way, and I wanted to share a story with you. Quick story to kind of get us in the mood of, I think, how incredible our industry is. So 10 years ago, 2 years into my network marketing industry, I showed a lady. The lady didn't do anything with it at the time. It wasn't for her at the time, but she's gone back in touch with me 10 years later. And she's said to me, I'm desperate for your help right now. I'm about to be 39 years old, and I'm exactly where I was 10 years ago. And her challenge was she hasn't had any mindset growth. So she's still sometimes needing to get universal credit or benefits from the government. And she's struggling, but she's been struggling for 10 years because she's been doing the same thing all the time, but hasn't broken through because she's struggling with mindset. Okay. And so why do I share this story with you today? Because today's all about mindset. And today's about the things you need to do to develop your mindset daily. And so, you know, like, I've done a lot of growth this week, a lot of content consuming, but the one thing I haven't done for my mindset is actually my workouts haven't been on point. I've been clearing the 10K steps, but I haven't quite gotten back into like working out fully since Greece. And so that's why I know that my physical activity depends on, you know, like, I've got to get that done, because my performance here at work with you guys is affected by my energy not being right. And, you know, when you grow your muscles, you grow your mind as well. But let's talk about the brain muscle today. And so I want to share with you a quick story. So back in 2012, when I started my network marketing journey, I was struggling big time. I was working 7 part-time jobs. I had no time, guys. I didn't have time for a social life. I didn't have time to meet anybody or do anything. And, you know, I was struggling to just keep food on the table, let alone a roof over my head. I can remember times when, you know, my paycheck hadn't come and I didn't know how to get to work because I needed that paycheck to clear before I could get on the train to work. That's how much I was struggling. But the good news is I was 22. The good news is I was open-minded to growth. The good news is I knew there were solutions out there, and I didn't wait when the opportunity came for growth. But here's the thing, and we had this chat with Eric Grisbowski when he came, and we actually launched the Seacret Inner Circle, right? How many people got the Seacret Inner Circle? Let me see a show in the chat. Did anybody get the Seacret Inner Circle? That might be something to get on, the Seacret Inner Circle. Efrosyni, if you want to drop the link in the chat, that would be amazing. But why am I mentioning this? See, I was able to completely transform my life within a couple of years because of the growth that I did. So amazing. Great job, Irene. So I, in my first year, and this is not just, I just want to share my story with you. I don't want this to be all about me tonight. I just want to share with you what I did and how I grew, because I feel like we can do that in the team as well. And so in my first year, I read 52 books. And how did I do it? how did I get through a book a week with 7 part-time jobs? Well, there was a lot of traveling to and from those part-time jobs. And anytime I was walking, there were headphones in my ears. I was listening to the book. And if I was sitting, I was reading the book. So it was one or the other. Usually I had 2 books on the go. Usually I had one book that I was reading and one book that I was listening to, and I would switch between the two. So when I was walking, I was listening. When I was sitting, I was reading. And so I want to know your thoughts in the group. What do you think if we start some kind of book club? Does it sound good? A little book club that we can check in with. Yeah. You know, we can see who's going to be the fastest to read it. We can have some takeaways, but I want to give you access to the list that I read or I went through again and again and again in my first year. And so the first book that I want to bring to everyone's attention, I'm pretty sure Carrie mentioned it at Elevate, is How to Win Friends and Influence People. So let me see right now. Feel free to open your cameras or write in the chat. Who's actually read How to Win Friends and Influence People? I've read it. Pia's read it. Miguel? Not yet. Okay, let's get you that book. Amazing. Catherine? Not yet? I have the book and haven't read it. Okay, how long have you had the book for, Irene? Just a question. How long have you had the book for? Can I tell you guys something? About a year now. Okay, cool. So my dad's got the book. It's on his shelf, but I don't think he's ever read the book. And the thing is, a book is only as good as the person that reads it, right? So you can have an amazing library, but if you've never read any of the books, I remember when Ori came to our house, he looked around and he went, so you have all the books. And I was like, no, those are just the books that I've read. The other books are upstairs. So we pride ourselves on reading and consuming content. But one of the things that Eric Grisbowski agreed when we met with him is that a lot of us didn't learn to do the business just from attending the big events. That's where we all got excited. That's where we made decisions. That's where we got new ideas. But learning how to do the day-to-day basics that mattered in our business was from consuming content. It was from listening. It was using up and squeezing the dead air out of our day. Are you cooking? Is an audio on? Are you cleaning? Is an audio on? Are you driving? Is an audio on? Now, the way that I like to use music is as a power move. Music is my power move, right? So let's say, for example, you know, I've been consuming content and I'm about to go into a meeting. Right before the meeting, I'll do 5 or 10 minutes of really good music to prime myself, to get myself ready, to get my energy up, because sometimes content can be heavy. It's true, but there's got to be times of your day where you're reading and times of the day where you're energizing. Now, at this point in our lives with Efrosyni, that we're full-time entrepreneurs, you know, like it's our full-time gig building this team. We've got a morning routine down packed. If somebody was going to tell me about a morning routine when I was working 7 part-time jobs and had no time, it wouldn't have happened. And that's why I want to share with you, for those of you that have a job, that book has got to be while you're on foot or while you're commuting or while you're driving. You got to find a way to get it into the time that you already have. It's like you're going to create extra time pockets in your life that already exist, right? While you're putting your makeup on, what a great time. While you're doing your skincare routine, what a great time to just listen to something, okay? And so let's go ahead. Let's start with that, how to win friends and influence people, and what we can do. Is it okay if I actually teach you guys how to read right now? I want to teach you how to read. Just give me 1 second. I'm coming back. Okay, 1 second. I'm still there with you. I just wanted to show you how to read. Right, I'm coming back. All right. Okay, cool. One of my books that I read, I think I read this one last year, January. Okay, so this is Ikigai. It's a Japanese secret to a long and happy life. But how do I read? highlighter. Highlighter. Just have that highlight on your handbag, book in your handbag, or if you're reading on an iPad, you can highlight manually. Have a look at the pages right now, right? You're going to see as I go through pages, I've got notes highlighted. So some of my notes here. Oh, look at that. A positive attitude and a high degree of emotional awareness are two dispositional traits in people who live the longest. Cool. Let's create that together. Serenity in the face of setback, a stoic attitude. So anytime I want to come back and dip into the book and get some inspiration, I've got something highlighted right there. And I don't highlight everything. Like, as you can see, I highlight what stands out to me and is personal to me, right? So you can see I've not highlighted every single page. Usually it's just a couple of phrases. But when I get to the end of the book, I have a study day. I have a day, or sometimes I've highlighted a lot in the book. The book that I just finished over the summer, I needed 3 days to go through my notes on that book, right? My highlights. I reread it. Okay, so it's kind of like, you know what's fascinating is when people go to school and they go study for your exam, but nobody ever teaches you how to study. And then what I love to do, the final piece of reading a book, and I hope this training isn't boring for you guys. I hope, let me know if you're getting some value in the chat, by the way. I hope you are. I hope this is pouring in a little bit. I actually just got lost in my thoughts right now. Right. One of the things that I want you to do, like another book that I actually finished, absolute brilliant book, but we're focusing on how to win friends and influence people, was Never Split the Difference. And each day that I went by that I had read that book, I tried to apply something that I'd learned from the book. And so now, one of the things that that book teach me to do was when a prospect tells me they're having a challenge, I summarize their problem and say, it sounds like, rephrase their challenge and add in, is that right at the end? So I'm applying all the time. Like even today, I was applying something that I had learned. So I want to share with you that, you know, like while we're here with Efrosyni right now at the top rank in Europe, we're still learning every day. We've still got somewhere to go. And, you know, we're never in a place where we know everything. We're always in a place to consume more. So one of my affirmations that I listen to in the morning is, I'm an excellent learner and I apply and retain all the knowledge I gain. And I just, you know, I listen to my affirmations in my voice and it programs me that I'm excellent at learning. Everything that I learn, I'm going to be able to apply it. And my brain's programmed for success. So guys, I was just dipping into this call very, very quickly. And for tonight, just wanted to give you a little bit of value. Looking forward to seeing who goes out and reads that book. Irene, we've had the book for years. Now let's read the book. Let's get on it. Let's make it our project of the week, project of the month. If you read one book a month, that's still 12 books better by the end of the year. So let's get on it. And I look forward to really seeing your progress soon. Let me know. Reach out to me. Reach out to me when you get a nugget. I want to hear about your progress, okay? All right, guys, I'm going to hand over to Efrosyni now.
Hey, champions. Happy Sunday. I want to piggyback on that from Melanie as well, because I remember when I first got into network marketing and personal development years ago, and I wasn't reading books, I was listening to audios. And I remember having a conversation with one of my mentors, and he said to me, "What book are you reading right now?" And I said, "Well, currently I'm listening to Awaken the Giant Within, which is a great audio by Tony Robbins." Now he said, no. What book are you reading right now? I'm like, I listen to audiobooks all the time. It took me a little while to kind of get the message. And he said, leaders are readers. And he taught me what Melanie is teaching right now, guys, in terms of active learning. And there's two parts. There's active learning. Active learning is when you take a book and you highlight and you learn it. And there's another level called accelerated learning. Now, accelerated learning is what I end up doing is I take a book and I highlight everything. Then I have this notebook, which is a digital notebook, and I do a little summary and key lessons that I have from each book. And the final key, and this is the magic, is teaching what you've learned. So I give you guys an example. I know that, we've got a podcast that we basically release. That podcast is free for anybody to listen to. Some of the things that I've basically taught on different episodes was things that I learned from different books, because I know that if I teach something, then I get to learn it twice. Now, a lot of people sometimes say, I don't have time to read, or I don't have time to listen to audios. And here's what I want to share with you guys. There was a statement that someone shared with me quite a few years ago, and it really made an impact on me. And I want to share this with you as well. He said, the number one rule in personal growth is you can never rise above the opinion you have of yourself. Now, I remember when I heard that for the first time, and I said, well, what is the opinion that I have of myself? And I did have an opinion, that I was a hard worker. In fact, I associated hard work with success. But can we all agree, if somebody's a hard worker, does that necessarily mean that they're successful? Of course not, right? Who knows people that are working their butts off, yet struggle to make ends meet, have a vision that they never materialize. Right? We all know people like that, right? Okay. And I kind of felt like I was in that category. I was definitely a hard worker. I associated myself with that. I associated success with how I saw myself, but it was medium success. Okay. I wanted something big, but there's a difference between wanting something big and believing that you can actually have it. Right? Because let's face it, if we ask anybody, do you want a better quality of life? Do you want a better house, better car? Now, I know I'm mentioning all materialistic stuff, and materialistic stuff is definitely not the most important. But in terms of a better lifestyle, I don't think anybody in the right mind would say no. But they always ask me in terms of, how do you create momentum? And one of the things I always say to people is that momentum is created through belief first. You got to believe first before you can take action. And when I heard the quote is that you can never rise above through the opinion that you have of yourself, I said to myself, okay, so then what I need to do is that I need to invest more into my mind to elevate my opinion of myself, to expect more from me so I can do more. Because the thing is that if we don't elevate the opinion of ourselves, and you got to ask yourself these questions, right? If you wrote down and you had an honest conversation with yourself, and you have a goal that you want to achieve from Seacret, how many of you guys have a crystal clear goal of what you want to achieve from Seacret? Like it's specific. Yes, more money, all that stuff, but I want a specific goal. And I want a specific reason why for you it's a must to achieve it. Okay, I want to take it a step further. If you have one and you want to share on the chat, I'd love to see it on the chat. Okay. Share it on the chat in terms of a specific goal you have from Seacret. Now, the second part I want to ask you, and you don't have to share this part on the chat, is how much do you believe you can achieve it? And the challenge with most people, and I fell into this category for a very long time. You know what's crazy? I know it sounds crazy to some people, but I got to 100,000K a year in network marketing relatively quick, but I got stuck there for some time. Now, I know some people will be like, oh, $100,000 a year is not so bad, Efrosyni. Yeah, but when you're stuck there and you believe that you deserve more, there's a plateau that you hit, and there's an internal frustration that happens with that. And a lot of people, when they're going through it, they feel like they're the only one that's going through it, that nobody else understands what they're going through. Yet there's a lot of people that have actually physically been there, because they say that every level has a new devil. Every plateau is a lesson you got to learn to break through that plateau. Why did I get stuck at 100,000K a year? Because that's the money that I was making in my job before that. Why was that number significant? Because for whatever reason, I developed a belief that that's the money that I could earn. So I got to that pretty quick. But in order for me to raise my income above that, what I needed to do is raise my belief that I deserved more than that. Okay. So it's the same thing as talk about the personal, the number one law in terms of personal growth is that you can never rise above the opinion of yourself. Is you got to ask yourself, how much money do I believe that I deserve to make from Seacret? And whether that is consistent with the goal that you have. Because there's this gap. I wanted $1 million a year, but I believed I deserved 100,000 a year. And I couldn't break that gap. Now, for you guys, it might be a different number. It might be like you can't imagine yourself earning more than $500 a month. It might be you can't imagine yourself earning more than $1,000 a month. Now, how do you break that gap? It does come down to the conversations you start having with yourself. So I want you guys to do an exercise when we finish this webinar tonight, okay? I want you to literally take a piece of paper and start writing down what are the most consistent things that keep going through your head. What are your most dominant thoughts that you keep thinking? Okay. And you might need to take half an hour, you might need to take an hour out of that in order to do that. But a lot of people are not conscious of the thoughts that come into their head. And I remember the first time that I did this exercise, I was actually astonished that I had a lot of negative thoughts. I thought I was a very positive person until I started writing down my dominant thoughts and realized I was positive on the outside, but on the inside, I was beating myself up. On the inside, I would go to events and I would see everybody working the stage, and I'd be like, I'm so happy for them. But inside, I was beating myself up, going, why aren't you there? You should be up there on that stage. Why aren't you there? You need to work harder. Right? And the thing is, a lot of us don't realize that we keep doing that to ourselves. And then sometimes we go into a presentation going with a smile on our face, but the smile is not genuine because we're sitting there in our head kind of going, better sign this person up. I need to rank up. I need to be in that limo, right? And the thing is, you're going into that presentation and you think that while you're going to the presentation, you're going to sign them up. But because you don't believe you're going to sign them up, in the end, you don't sign them up. And what do? You beat yourself up some more, right? Go, damn it, you should have signed them up, and then you start reflecting on the way home and you said, what if I said this to them? Oh, why didn't I think of that at the time? Let me ask you something, right? If you're a boxer and you're in the ring and you spend the majority of your time before you get in the ring beating yourself up, how much energy are you going to have in order to fight when you get in the ring? When it really counts? Thank you, Rochelle. 0, right? Because we spent so much time beating ourselves up before we got into the ring. We're going to get into the ring and just go, first punch. It's going to knock us out. Okay? So the reason I'm saying this to you is because I know that this is something that really made an impact on me quite a few years ago. And the first part was writing down my dominant thoughts. And then the second part is asking myself, what are the things that I should be saying to myself if I want to create success? What are the things I need to be saying to myself? So imagine you are your own best cheerleader. Okay? You're your own best cheerleader. And before you're about to do a presentation, what are the things that when you say to yourself, you're going to get your energy so high that that person, when they see you, they're going to go, I don't know what you're on. I don't know what you've got, but I want to be a part of it because I want to be as excited as you are. Okay. And you're genuinely excited. Why? Because you're already feeling it before you go into the presentation. You're already saying to yourself, Anna, you're a champion. You know, everybody's lucky to join your team. Everybody looks up to you. You belong on stage. You can inspire people. Eliza, you're a leader of leaders. Rochelle, you're the kind of person that puts a smile on everybody's face and everybody wants to be around you. Eva, you're a leader and a champion of everybody, and everybody looks up to you because you lead by example. Pia, you're one of those people that makes everybody feel so special that everybody's drawn to you like a magnet. Okay. Corinne, you got the most beautiful heart. And when people see the presentation, they just want to spend time with you and be around with you and build a beautiful culture and memories with you. Like, what if that's the conversation that you're having with yourself every single morning before you wake up, every single night before you go to bed? And what if you do this? Okay, because I'm going to give you some homework right now, right? And I'm changing our coaching sessions every Sunday, guys, because I want to turn it from just doing a webinar. I want to turn it into some high level coaching with you guys because I want to help you guys. I want us to basically work together and build this stronger. Because one of the things that my mentor always said to me, he goes, don't build a team, build leaders, build people, and people will build the business. So I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in personal development seminars, going to events over the last few years, high level coaching, high level courses. I want to take all of this and I want to pour it into you guys. And I want to make this year so powerful for you guys because we're going to grow together. We're going to build success stories together. But I want to give you guys two pieces of homework that you can go away. Remember, the first piece of homework is what? Identify what are your dominant thoughts. Okay. So write them on a piece of paper. What do you think about the most? You know, when you're not even conscious, when you get into the car, when you're alone, especially. Okay, because that's when we have the most interesting conversations, right? What are your most dominant thoughts? That's number one. Number two, what are the things that you need to be saying to yourself to build the success that you want from Seacret? And write down 4 or 5 affirmations that are going to help you to program yourself right. So is being a great trainer with our company something that you're excited about being? Is it maybe the money that you're going to be making? Is it the fact that you're going to be changing lives that inspires you the most? Is it about building your freedom? I know someone said freedom before. Okay. Someone says not liking my job. So, you know, maybe one thing that you can say is, I am so excited that I have become such a powerful leader. Everybody's excited to be around me. And I've just fired my boss and now I'm completely free and grateful. What if you speak that into reality every single day? Almost you take a goal, you turn it into an affirmation, and you talk it in present sense as if it's already happened. I know Yasir's got a very big vision and I love his vision. So Yasir, I hope you don't mind me sharing your vision. But one of the things that Yasir always talks about, he goes, I want to be the first diamond Latino in all of Europe. And then he wants to build a team of diamonds. So if Yasir is getting up every single morning and going, I am excited to be the first diamond Latino in all of Europe, and I'm excited to be celebrating 2 more diamonds with me on stage 2024. And they give it a deadline, right? Thank goodness I woke up this morning, it's 4th of March 2024, and I'm grateful that I'm on stage with Raymond Braun, Janie Braun, Muzaffar, and I'm sharing my new platinum story. And there's not a dry eye in the room. What if you start speaking that every single day? I'm going to give you a little bonus on this as well. You take it another level. You know, you can voice record in your phone. Okay. So what if you voice record your affirmations on your phone? And when you go to sleep at night, sometimes put the voice recording so softly that consciously you cannot hear it, but subconsciously it will go into your mind. And what if it's on repeat and it talks over and over your affirmations? That's something that I used to do a lot. Okay. I used to do a lot. I used to literally learn something and listen to it so softly at nighttime that I couldn't listen consciously. And the funny thing is, the more you do it, the more you end up saying some quotes that come out of your mouth and go, man, that was really cool. I can't, did I just come up with that? And you think you came up with it. And then you read a book a few years later and go, damn it, I read it in a book. But because it's so much into your subconscious, it's become a part of you that you think that now it's all in your mind, that is just second nature. So that's what I want you guys to do tonight. Okay, I want you to literally take your time, record these affirmations. Now, when you do these affirmations, you can do them as affirmations, so you can take it to another level, which is an incantation. Tony Robbins speaks a lot about this, where you say it on such a high energy level and you record it and you can listen to it. But what's more powerful is you look at yourself in the mirror every single morning and you speak to yourself. I know some of you are going, man, you know, my husband or my wife is going to think I'm weird, right? Well, listen, if you're not willing to be called weird a few times, I'm telling you, you're not going to get very far in your business. One thing that my mentor always used to say to me, if people are not calling you weird, it means you're not taking enough action. That's it. People are going to call you weird. The opinions of others make zero difference to your success unless you let them make that difference. Some people let other people's opinion define where they're going. You know, I'm at my parents' house right now. I know some of you guys have seen me do calls from here before. And when I come to my parents' house, it's a little village, 5,000 population. There's very much of that mentality going around. What will people say? Who cares? What are they going to say? They're going to be talking anyway. Give them a show. Give them something to talk about. Okay? So that's in terms of your homework. That's in terms, like Melanie shared, get the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's going to be the book of the month. And every single month, we're going to have a different book. Okay? Now, I highly recommend you read it. But if the only thing that you can do is listen to the audiobook, that's cool too. Right? Every single week, we'll spend 2 or 3 minutes, and I'd love to hear from you guys what you learned from the book each week, because we want to hold each other accountable. Okay? If some of you have read it, I've read How to Win Friends and Influence People at least 20 times. And every single time I read it, I feel like I'm reading it for the first time. How to Win Friends and Influence People. There you go. Okay, so you have it in writing as well. And then the 2 parts of the homework, writing down your most dominant thoughts, number 1. Number 2, write down some powerful affirmations that when you voice them, when you speak them out loud, they're going to help you create the success you deserve in Seacret. Not just in Seacret, in life. You can do this with so many areas, guys. You can do this for your health. You can do this for your relationship. I'm so excited that every single time I wake up in the morning and I'm more and more in love with my partner, for example, and we have the best relationship. You know, you can speak that into reality. I'm so excited that I'm bouncing with energy out of bed every single day, and I'm excited to start the day and I'm in my optimum health. You know, you can speak what you speak into reality. Your voice gives things power. It's just most people use their voice to disempower themselves. Your voice carries power. You got to be careful with your voice, right? So that's it in terms of tonight. Now, before I finish off, okay, I would love to see. I know there's some people close. You guys know about the promotions that we got going on right now, okay? So VIP night in Madrid, the first 10 people to rank up, okay, to a new rank, a rank that they've never ranked up before. Minimum Royale and above. I know there's a couple of people getting super close, okay? We were a week straight after, was it Elevate? Oh my God, I'm already on playbook mode. Okay, so the first 10 people, right? The other thing is as well, this is for this month. Remember, right now we got the promotion. Every package, every agent pack is double QV. Use this, guys, to rank up. Now, anybody that achieves gold and above, and this is, let's say you were gold and you dropped rank and you go and achieve gold again. You get to speak on stage. This might be one of your goals. Speak it into reality. Remember, number one, you got to visualize the goal. Number two, you got to create the plan. Number three, you got to work the plan. Okay, so if that's your goal, what is your plan to make it happen? And three, are you working the plan to make it happen? The last thing I want to finish off with, okay, is you guys know that tonight is the last call for the special promotional price of Playbook. It's 175 euros, then it goes to 199 euros. So take advantage of it, guys. You know, I know there's like some people are like, oh, but it's only 25 euros. You know what the difference is? It's never the promotion. It's always your attitude towards the promotion that's going to determine whether people take the promotion seriously. Your energy determines the respect that they pay to whatever you're telling them. Okay? So if you're excited that this is literally tonight, by tonight at midnight, the price is going to change. Are you ready to lock your ticket? Now, I think I've talked about this before and I'll mention it a couple of times, but we will do a call on how to promote effectively, because promoting is the multiplier effect. There's two skills that are the most important in order to be a master networker. Number one is inviting. The more bumps on seats, the more people see the presentation, more people join. But the multiplication starts with promoting, which is getting people to events, promoting the trips, promoting the events. So when I'm promoting, I build up the value first, then I tell the price. What do I mean by that? I tell people, listen, Muzaffar is the number 2 income earner in the company. Do you know how much he makes? He makes $1 million a year. Now, let me ask you something. This guy, just to give you an idea, his watch, one of his watches, by the way, $50,000. I'm like, man, do you want me to look after it for you? Okay. He bought a McLaren recently. He paid for it in cash. McLaren's like a couple of $100,000 car. Now, let me ask you something. In the outside world, how much would you pay to sit down with someone like that, that's made millions in the industry, super successful, that's willing to teach you his secrets on how he made it happen? How much would it cost in the outside world? I'm building up the value, guys, because in the outside world, you would pay a few $1,000s to have 1 hour with the guys like Muzaffar, right? 1 hour. And you know what the difference is? he wouldn't be willing to teach you his secrets because he wouldn't want you to be his competition. Do you see the difference? When I turn around and say, but you know what's cool? Not only do we have this guy for a whole weekend, we have the president of the company, and we also have two amazing people that are a couple that are diamonds with Seacret. They used to be high-level executives, and now they're enjoying their freedom. So the thing is, the value is big, the price is small compared to what they're getting. When you have 100% belief in that, then you should be getting everybody booked to the event. Cool? Bomba, guys. So thank you for tuning in. I have recorded this. I know a bunch of people told me they wouldn't be able to make it for whatever reason, traveling or all types of things. So I have recorded it. So please feel free to share this with your team that didn't get a chance to plug in. Have an amazing week. Okay. Have a productive week, and see you on the call next week.